The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
From TFNN, welcome to the September 19th magnificent Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go look at the circumstance of these markets. We're going to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in, 877-927-6648. Of course, internationally, 727-445-1044. So let's go ahead and get this show started on magnificent, magical Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the show. Right now, we have the Dow trading up 31 points. She's trading out at 18,154. S&P is up about 4, trading at 2142. NASDAQ Composite has turned red, not green, turned red. It's back about $3, trading at 52.41. Russell 2000 up 7 points, trading out at 12.31. The DAX goes up 97 points. The FTSE up 103. Gold's trading up $7, trading at 13.17 and change. Silver's up 45 cents. That's trading at 19.31. Light sweet crude is up 45 pennies, trading out at 44.07. The big leader to the upside out here, Sarepta Therapeutics. Only a few months ago, trading at $8, now trading at $52.91. Approval of their drug by the FDA out there. Tech Data Corp, a Tampa-based company, that's up 21%. No, I didn't check to see what the news was behind that move. That's up $14. Netty's up 9. Equinix up about 7. Intuitive Surgical up 7. AutoZone up about $5. To the downside, you've got Priceline. That's off about 0.5%. That's down $8. Chipotle off about nearly 2%, down $7 and change. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals off $4.50. Lending Tree off $4 out here. So let's go see what the markets are communicating to you and I, what we should be looking for out here. I'll start with now, it appears that the next top is in. At least as of 1:09 p.m., the next top is in. Let's see how the day closes, whether or not we get that confirmation. If we take a look at the 4 futures indice contracts right now, these are the daily contracts. You're looking at them. I've got the 4 quadrants on my screen. Upper left is the ES Mini. Upper right is the NQ. Lower left is the Dow. Lower right is Russell 2000. Let's start from upper left to lower right out here. Let's take a look at the ES Mini. What it was trying to do, got very close, was trying to get up into the price level of its TAS daily profile high. That was priced out at $21.4975. It actually got up to $21.4675. So $3, 3 full points away from what could have been resistance. It looks like at this stage here, if this were to close today, I would say below 21.3350. If it closes below that, you're 21.35 right now. That would give you your confirmed sell signal to either move down to 21.0850 or to set up the A to B equals CD to the downside. The A to B equals CD to the downside looks like this out here. If you're watching us on TigerTV, you can see that pattern form. That would take us down to about 2064, maybe 2041, depending on the type of move to the downside. But it does look to me like at this point here, the top is in, the most recent top out here for the at least the C point of the A to B equals CD to the downside. That's not the pattern that we're going to see here inside of the NQ, because in the case of the NQ, 2, it made it all the way back to test its swing point high, September 7th level. That was out at 48.34. It got above that, got up to a price point today of 48.41. You can see you can see actually just the TAS weekly market profile at 48.29.50. So any close underneath that would be a failure to break out to the upside out there. You've got a bearish reversal signal today. You got a bearish engulfing candle right now. We'll see how this closes, but the NQ is up against resistance. So is the ES mini. It's ready now. In the case of the NQ, you would anticipate price pulling back to 46.87 first, then 47.35, maybe even 46.87. It seems to me more likely that it would be pulling back to about the 46.87. That would then go ahead and give the ES mini the opportunity to set up that A to B equals CD to the downside that we just took a look at. In the case of the Dow futures out here, same kind of pattern. And that price was contained with inside. It tried to get back above the TAS weekly profile low. That was old support, became resistant. You can see that it's been tested a couple of times here over the past 5-6 trading sessions. And so that is resistance. That is likely the C point of the A to B equals CD to the downside. That, I'm going to give you the conservative one. That would then go ahead and say that the Dow should make its way down to 17.5 1/4, 17.349. Now, it may not do anything really until Wednesday out here. I believe Wednesday at 2 is when we hear from the Federal Reserve. But right now, if the markets know something, which they always do, this is the way the markets are trading. The markets are trading the way that they believe that no matter what the news is, they're going to go ahead and make some patterns to the downside. Now, these could be patterns that last for quite some time, as you know. But right now, we're seeing markets give up levels that they should have been able to have broken above. Inside the Russell out here, this is taking a look at its daily futures contract. We can see thus far that it has failed to get above its TAS daily profile high, 12.28. It's gotten above it. It's not been able to close above it. So we'll call it 12.29. That, too, setting up an A to B, potentially an A to B equals CD to downside. Looks like that tool is off on my system, but we're going to go ahead and turn it on. Well, I would turn it on. For some reason, it's not on that chart, but post haste, we're going to get it out here. So here is what that looks like, is the pattern that is setting up right now. Now, we'll have confirmation today as we go into the close, but it does look like the Russell should make its way down to 1177, 1160. Again, that is the equity futures contract. That's the December futures contract that we are taking a look at. Now, we'll get some confirmation on this. We should get it within the next few hours, I would think. And if we take a look at the chart I have up on my screen, it is the 30-minute chart here for the NQ. Now, the high that it formed happened to be out here at 4 o'clock this morning, and that was at a price point of 48.4175. From that high to the 30-minute session that we're trading into right now, which doesn't end until 1:30, we're in wave number 6 to the downside. So what we want to see is what happens when and if, doesn't have to, but I'm waiting to see if a 7th wave pattern forms, preferably before about 4 o'clock. Then we'll have a better feel. But does that 7th wave fail? Which is what the bears would want to see, or does that pattern, does that 7th wave say, you know what, for the next day or so, we just kind of consolidate here until we actually hear what Yellen has to say? But right now, the markets are yelling. They're saying they're ready. They're ready to head south for the winter. That being the winter taking you to the middle of October. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today.
With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up about 33. S&P is up 4. Well, since I was last with you, it's been an interesting week to say the least. Some of you know I went up to New York on Thursday early. And as many of you also know that for the last 5-6 months, I've managed to take off 50-plus pounds and do it both through a number of different programs, but one of those being physical exercise. And just so happens that I joined a gym. It's a what do they call that? CrossFit interval type training. It's some of you have heard it. In fact, probably all of you now have heard of it. It's called Orange Theory. So when I went up to New York, I made sure because, especially you're up there, it's pretty easy to let's say, sway off of a normal eating program. And so I made sure that I was staying near the only Orange Theory location in Manhattan. So, yes, when that bomb exploded and all the video footage that we've seen playing over and over and over and over again, all coming from Orange Theory Fitness. Now, I received an interesting email here I'll show you this morning that says, Dear Steve, sorry we missed you at Orange Theory Fitness, Chelsea, Manhattan, New York, for my scheduled workout. This was for yesterday morning. So the only thing that actually keeps me from working out there, is a bomb blast. But obviously, seriously, what's interesting, so I know clearly I know exactly where that footage was coming from. I mean, I was there each morning working out past the little dumpster, not a little dumpster, but the dumpster, where that bomb device was placed. And I can tell you that, my walking around New York, first of all, you see cameras really everywhere, not just the cameras that, everybody is holding, but you do see them on the different light posts, especially obviously the closer you get towards Times Square, but just all around. You see these cameras that are just everywhere there. So, which is the good news, that maybe they've caught the perpetrator, one of the individuals here today. But you get no sleep, our electronic devices. So, that occurs about 8:30 in the evening. And then the rest of the evening, through GPS, through whatever, the system that they have set up. I can tell you, like 1 in the morning and 3 in the morning and 5 in the morning, my phone is going off, no matter, even if you have it on silent. It's just like they're able to take control of it to have your phone just going off. Scares the heck out of you after you've fallen asleep, letting you know, stay indoors, do this, do that, or what have you out there. But so yeah, kind of an interesting weekend, to say the least. So in any event, back to the markets out here. As we took a look at the daily charts, as we took a look at some intraday time frame charts out here, they really do suggest that the market is turning. If I look at on a daily basis as well, we take a look at our advanced decline oscillator right now as of 121. They are all below zero. The NASDAQ earlier in the day, at least last time that I looked at, was about 11:30 or so. I was above zero, and it was the bulls that were threatening to truly take over the market. You and I on Tuesday or Wednesday, we noticed Apple's breakout. We said, hey, this is interesting. This is real. And Apple, just because of its strength in the weighting system, can go ahead and move the markets higher, which it did, with the NQ going back and testing the sign. Now, the NASDAQ Composite has done the same, at least with what we've got today is a test and thus far a rejection of that September 7th swing point. It would need to close back above, which it could do, above 52.6192. But I suspect that is not the case out here, that what we've seen is the counter trend rally. Now, you can't really call the NASDAQ Composite a counter trend rally. It made a 100% move. It got back. Maybe at best case, it's a consolidation pattern at this stage of the game. But the other three indices, that is not the case out here. So we've got the 50-day exponential moving average for the VIX index. You're trading well above that. That price, by the way, 1403. So the VIX index could, in fact, be set up an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. I don't have that tool turned on here. We probably can do that. Let's see. Can I? No, I can't. Well, I can. I can do basically anything. That is a beautiful thing in life. You can really do anything you want if you set your mind to it. So I just set my mind to showing you the A to B equals CD pattern that could be setting up for the VIX. And we can easily make the case, I don't know about easily, but we certainly can make the case that the VIX could run up to 2346, 2587 out there before it then sets its next top, meaning the market's next bottom. So everything is really like that old band, in sync out here, at least the way that I see things setting up inside the market on all the charts. Let's see what happens and I hate to use that phrase, at the end of the day, but really I meant at the close of the session out there. And that's what we'll do. If we do take a look at Apple, since that was the culprit on the way up, and there was more than just Apple. You and I took a look at the top 10 holdings inside the NDX 100. And we said none of those were suggesting to you and I that the market wanted to head south. And so it wants to head to the north. Somebody asked me about the Saki convention. You know what? It was a fun time, but I won't do it again. And I will tell you, I consider myself to be a sake connoisseur. If I don't, I know that I am a sake connoisseur. It was a pretty cool event. Over 400 different sakes that you could taste. But I will tell you that, and I learned to drink cold sake many years ago. How many? 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that out there. And having traveled and having owned a retail store in Japan and things like that, I've been able to learn from the best of the best out there. Now, I like my sake cold. I do mean cold out there. And here, and these guys have, this is called the Joy of Sake, by the way. They've held this event for many years out here. Cool event that they do. But sakes were served at basically about room temperature. I've gone out, and luckily I brought my own little sake box out there, and went and found some ice cubes that I could put in there, and then little squirts. It just wasn't. Now, I will tell you, I did sit around and drink some of the finest sake out there that, at prices that I certainly didn't want to pay for. But since they were made available and as part of the deal, but anyways, a fun event. I became friends. A guy I've been speaking to for a while over the phone, so I was able to meet him and his wife. He owns a sake store up there, and they can now ship to Florida, so that is a beautiful thing. And in any event, so that sake convention was okay. some blues at the Blue Note. Now, that was a lot of fun. Many other fun things up there. The bombing at the Orange Theory, or across the street from Orange Theory, that was certainly not a fun thing out there. That is for sure. Kind of eerie, too, because the whole area of Chelsea where I was at was just all basically cordoned off and just quiet as can be. In a lot of places you couldn't even get around. So actually good, just feels good to be back home. With regard to Apple, so that's what we were going to talk about out here today. The pullback is on lightest volume, 31 million shares so far. Went higher Friday with 80 million shares, 90 million shares before that. So Apple actually I can make the case here that Apple really still does. It's the same case you and I looked at. Wants to make a run for the 120 area, 120.10, somewhere right around there. So Apple may not be done moving to the upside, perhaps courtesy of Samsung. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. You know, that mayor in New York, de Blasio, I mean, that guy is on the ball. He's finally now, it's only been a few days, right, calling it an act of terror out there. There's a guy that's on the ball. Hey, let's go up to Tallahassee, Florida. I can tell you a team that was not on the ball, and that was the Florida State Seminoles. Ben, how you doing?
Awesome. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well. What the heck happened to my team?
Yeah, good question. Let me see here. Hold on one second.
I know you called to talk about the S&P 500.
Well,
but
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. I've actually got a call coming in here. I'm going to call you back in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Call you back.
Bet. You bet. Thanks. That was Ben in Tallahassee. And, so that was an interesting Saturday as well, folks. I was looking forward to Florida State, ranked number 2 against Louisville, which is always a good team out there. So not to be, certainly not to think that it was a cakewalk. Apparently the team thought it was a cakewalk. Anything but so. And they just simply got in. See the game. I was watching it from my phone periodically while I was doing other, New York things. And that was a bummer. So they're out of the picture for the championship game. That is for sure out there. But we won't talk about the S&P 500. We're seeing another kind of down leg here in the markets right now. So again, we'll want to pay attention to that when and if a seventh wave forms. It's not going to do it during this 30-minute session, unfortunately, so it may not be till this afternoon. But it does look to me like the that move to the upside of last week is basically now over. Let's take a look at a couple of other things out here. Let's take a look at light sweet crude, some commodities, see what they're doing. So if we take a look at the November contract here for light sweet crude, it looks to me like this is it's struggling to get through the swing point from the trading session of September 1st. That low is 43.59. You're trading at 43.89 right now. But it does look like to me that we've got an A to B equals CD to the downside out here. And that is, if we take a look at that pattern, that says here, light sweet crude should head to about 41.97, 40.23 would be the price objective. I say 41.97, the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the downside. That should be the extent of the move because that will take price down to the TAS weekly profile low out there. And we'll see price testing the swing point area from August the 3rd as well. So that's what light sweet crude is doing. On a intraday chart out here, let me just post that up here. I think I've got that. And I don't see anything in the intraday charts to suggest otherwise. So we should see continued pressure to the downside inside of light sweet crude. If we take a look, let's go look at silver. So the message inside of silver out here, and while we're going to show that in a moment here, I want to go ahead and pull up silver. I'm going to pull up the continuous contract on my other chart out here. Just want to see what it may be doing, if there's any bottoming-ish type patterns that might be showing up on it. And no, nothing. Well, I take that back. Hold on. Let me do this out here. Let me put this chart. Here's another daily chart for silver and a level that you want to be paying attention to. That price level, by the way, is 1918. And 1918, if I go ahead and I take the very bottom indicator and pull that up, that is, by the way, that's the price oscillator. That's the difference between our two exponential moving averages, the 19 and the 39-day exponential moving averages. You'll see that the reading very bottom panels says minus 0.02, says it's below zero. Now, a rising oscillator, which it is rising, you may not be able to tell that, but you can tell that by looking at my main screen, by looking at the red line. That tells us when the price is above it, oscillator is rising, price below it, oscillator is falling. So where silver closes today, will it be important? Because right now it's testing resistance and it's above resistance. 1918 is the number. That's due to change, I'm sure, by some pennies here and there. But basically, you can use that as your guideline. What does it mean if price closes above 1918? Well, at a minimum, it says price ought to come back and test the swing point, its most recent swing point from out here just a few days trading session ago, 9796, somewhere in the 2020-ish type area out here. That would be the first potential move inside of silver. If it closes back below 1918, what does that mean? That means that sellers never, ever, 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 at least here in the past 5 days, lost control of silver, and that silver will head lower, setting up an A to B equals CD to the downside. Now, you may say, where does that pattern take us to? And that takes us to this A to B equals CD that we can take a look at. We should unclutter the chart here just for a bit. Let's go turn off our market profiles. That'll give us a clearer picture. Let me get rid of these retracements that are out here. And there we go. Now we've got the clear picture, 1777 to 1710. That would be the number. Ben is back with us on the phone. Let's go back to Ben. Ben, thanks for calling back. How was your weekend, by the way?
Hey, Steve, great. Sorry about that. I got to
no problem.
keep my day job going here, too.
That's good. Good. No problem at all. So I know you had called. I believe you were calling about the S&P 500. Is that correct, or was it something else?
Yeah. No, I was just wondering what the hell happened in the last hour. I mean, I had a couple short trades on, and I'm looking at the spine. All of a sudden, something just happened. What? Any news off the wire, or what?
No, I think that, what happened was, regardless of the news, computerized trading, somebody from the Fed maybe speaking, whatever it might be, the markets here, been all going up against some pretty significant resistance levels. And so a market pullback or a market top is the easier call. So the fact that you've got the short, I think that's the right position, by the way, to be in, which is the short side of the market. Now you've had the NQ make a 100% move, find resistance at its TAS weekly profile. That's the upper right-hand screen. We've got the ES Mini. It has gone ahead and pretty much tested its daily profile high. Didn't get quite to it, 2149. And if I take a look at the S&P 500, the only thing that it didn't do that you would have liked, maybe, I suppose, is to really test resistance. That's my red line that's on the screen right now. That's priced at 2156, and the actual high today was 2154, basically 2153.61. So the message is that sellers here, they're in control of the market. That's really what.
Do you think we just made a? This is the start of the C to D down?
I do. I think that it is. I do think that it is. Here's the New York Stock Exchange out here, which none of us can trade the New York Stock Exchange, but if we take a look at the advanced decline oscillator, with the exception, and this has been below zero since July 26. It is, and granted, the market was moving sideways for that period of time as well. But when the basic meaning of the basic interpretation of this indicator is that when it trades below zero, it is telling you it is these sellers that are in control. Now, hey, Ben, can I trouble you to stay on through this break?
I'll do my best.
Okay, if you're not there because you've got to go, then. But I will say this.
I got one more quick question for you when you get a chance, but no problem.
Absolutely. Yep. But I do think you're on the right side of the trade. So we'll be back to Ben in Tallahassee. We'll get to his other question as well. This is Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back. Dow's off 17, S&P down 2. Ben, are you still on the line?
I'm still here, Steve.
Perfect. Yeah, so what your next question is?
Yeah, so if you take the SPY on the weekly chart,
Yeah.
do you see it actually going down to 198?
Well, the SPY on a weekly chart is a real interesting, and I'm glad that you brought it up. First thing is the first place where I am focused is on the trading session from the week that began June 6th, which had 379 million shares, and the last week was tested with 786. Now, the reason why I'm focused on that swing point, the week that began June 6th, is because it was passed with volume, the trading session that began June 11th. So we actually has a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. So, and I'm sure you probably noticed that as well. So that still is a valid pattern that would take price into the 230 area, maybe even 238. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that the short side is the correct side at this moment. In fact, I do. But what I would say is my target to the downside. So first, you gotta. How about that for great grammar out here? What we need to see is price close below that 212.52 level. It still does. It does not negate the A to B equals CD pattern on a weekly basis to the upside, but it turns it into what we'll call something more complex than just a normal A to B equals CD. And so my price target for the downside, if in fact the S&P is moving to the downside band, has got to be the swing point from the trading week of June the 27th. And that's at that 198.65 area. Is that where you were targeting, or were you looking at something else?
No, that's exactly where I was targeting. Yep.
Yeah. So, you can make the case that, from a weekly basis, you've got volume, 816 million shares. So if price gets down there, if it's coming down on light volume, maybe it's just kind of the consolidation-oriented pattern. We are going to go into the favorable seasonal cycle. That begins in the early October timeframe, so we're not that far away. It's September 19th. So we have to be aware of that. Maybe, I would anticipate that it doesn't really happen until about the third week in October when we see that normal Santa Claus rally. Nobody else calls it the Santa Claus rally, but geez, that's the one that you want to be looking at is the bottom in October. So we'll just have to take this one step at a time. But the advancing, declining issues, the VIX index, patterns that we've just seen with regard to the equity futures contracts, everything suggests that no matter what the Fed says, the market wants to trade lower. And in the back of my mind, I just have to just simply know, as I would share with you as well, there still is an A to B equals CD to the upside inside the SPYs, inside the diamonds, and inside the Russell 2000. So I think longer term, this suggests higher prices. But first, I think we see lower prices.
Good. Steve, I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. And thanks so much for calling. It's always good to hear from you.
Thanks, Steve.
You bet. That was Ben in a beautiful city. And if you've never been up to Tallahassee, folks, first of all, when you talk about a college town, and there's nothing like a college town. Hey, why do I hear myself, Steve-O, in the there we go. I don't just hear myself. I actually hear a phone. How about that? It is. I have to tell you, because I had two kids that went to school up there. One actually graduated. One just did a tour of duty up there, and but each time that you would go up there, just simply the nicest students to help direct you to things. It just and the brickwork, the brickwork everywhere around there, whether it's Stoke Campbell Stadium or just all of the different administrative buildings or the dorms, some of the dorms out there. What a cool, a little bit too chilly for me. Even though it's in the state of Florida, winter is winter up in Tallahassee. At least as I see it. All right. So, hey, we looked at silver, right, which is more important than looking at gold today. Looked at light sweet crude. Ben and I, just through his questions, you have my interpretation of what the markets are communicating to you and I. That doesn't mean here that for the next day and a half or so that we don't just kind of trade somewhat sideways-ish, but they have given us the signal that they're going to go ahead and trade lower. As I say, September 19th, there's a bottom that should form within the next 30 days out here. But we'll still just go ahead and play this stuff one moment at a time. Let's take a look at some individual stocks. Why don't we do that? If you've got if you got a question, just be like Ben, give us a call at 877-927-6648. Of course, you can send me an email. I'm going to check right now on my phone out here, see if there's any emails that have requests that have come in. And if there are, I'll get to those. Just flipping through it. I don't see anything right now. It doesn't mean that one didn't come through. No, I don't see anything right now. And, of course, inside the Tiger's Den, go ahead and just go ahead and ping me. Yes, Z, a tour of duty. He also toured a few other colleges out there. That was the tour of Florida. That's why when you take a look at my golf bag, you will see head covers from darn nearly every Florida college that is out there. You oftentimes confuses the caddies, but you got to support your kids, and you got to support their teams. And nothing like being and I really should have like a gold blue head cover, but those were my days, not my kids' days out there. Now, if we take a look at some individual stocks out here, Sarepta Therapeutics, here is the roller coaster of roller coaster rides out here. Big volume in it today. And look, these guys do something great supposedly. With Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, right? And this is an old Bud Rolfs stock. Don't know. I know that he wrote it to the upside at least once. I'm going to hope that he wrote it somehow to the upside at least twice out here. He originally. This is a weekly chart we're looking at, but I do believe it. Boy, how time flies! But I do believe it was back in July of 2012. I'll have to dig out some old emails of mine. On that first move, and this thing went from $8 or $3, I should say, went from $3 up to the $50 area out here. Then went ahead and made a beeline to the downside, as oftentimes these stocks can because of FDA approvals and stage developments and things of that sort out here. But it looks like today is the real deal. And now, so where does this thing run to? It's all the way back to its highs out here. You have to admit, those people back in 2013 that bought in this thing in the $50 range out here, and held it, they're just darn right tickled to get their money back. So this could be running into a little bit of a supply line out here, but things do look pretty good for Sarepta Therapeutics, and eventually it's going to make its way back into the $80 range. That's just what the stock chart suggests to me. If I take a look at tech data out here, TECD, let's go take a look at it, and then we'll go look at bonds for Danny. Again, this is the weekly chart that is out here. What the heck is that candle session? I'll put this to the daily. That is likely not right. Went from 280 down to about 40. So we've got a bad tick out here in tech data land. We'll get rid of that. Right now, today, though, it's above all kinds of swing points. What's the news behind it? Used to, many years ago, we're talking in the 80s, used to play golf with the senior that started Tech Data Corporation. I think Ed was his name. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking to discover a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Focus Commodity CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 6 equally weighted commodities, including gold, silver, copper, nickel, soybeans, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With annual pricing caps of 50% per component, you could earn up to a 50% upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. Take advantage of this financial resource designed to grow with the times. The October 13th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, Swim Lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the 3 hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off about 11. S&P is pretty much flat. Composite is down 15 points out here. And had a request from Danny. I believe it was Danny inside the den. Yeah, Danny in Atlanta want to take a look at bonds. So let's take a look at the December contract out here. And Dan, I don't know if you're long, if you're short, what you're looking for out here. But here's what I can suggest to you that bonds are doing. We're looking at the daily contract out here. They should have support, not too much lower than where they're trading right now, about 165 and 7 ticks out here. That is the bottom of its daily TAS market profile. And resistance, you can see these small-bodied candles that have formed out here that have been forming since September 14th. So this is the 4th trading session in a row. I can tell you that to the upside, that bonds should have resistance, not at their task market profile high, not that they couldn't, which is 168 even Steven, but more likely it's going to be the oscillator unchanged line right at about 167.04, 167 in that range. So it doesn't look like much in the way of upside activity. More downside activity than upside activity, and that is that this could be setting up a larger A to B equals CD to the downside out here. The 1-to-1 out here, let's go ahead and take a look at that. That is already completed or is close to completing. Let me see here. Yeah, that's already completed, the 1-to-1.272. So the next level on the way down would be a 162 type area. So if you do see a close below 165, let's say the swing point here from September 15th, that is 164 and 17 ticks out there. That will say that bonds are headed to the next level, to the downside out here. So we have to remain bearish on bonds until they close above the oscillator unchanged line. So that's about 167.04. So I hope that assists you with whichever side of the trade it is you are looking at in the 30-year Treasury out here. Not doing a whole heck of a lot today. Probably will not do much until Tuesday, unless there's some leaks out there, until about Tuesday at around during the David White show, right? The Polar show out there. I think that's when, I think between 2 and 2:30. Usually David gets all of the fireworks. Individual equities moving to the downside out here to see if there's anything behind anything. Amazon, let's just take a look at Amazon. Down $6. Is there a big deal going on in Amazon? And the answer is no. Not really. Amazon very likely, as it has, quite frankly, since about the end of July, just trading in a relatively narrow range between 750 and 777. So I don't see any big deal here at this stage of the game inside of Amazon. Let me just check in with my other system out here. Wednesday press conference at 3:15. So Dave White thinks that the press conference is on Wednesday between 3:15 and 3:30. So it'll be during Tom's show when the real fireworks might actually start out there. So don't expect the treasuries to really do a whole lot. And we might be, to a certain extent, saying the same thing about the market. But today's a failure. As of 1:57 in the afternoon, we simply have signals that say that today, earlier this morning, that was the top. Now, the way to trade it, the way to have a little bit of certainty is let's just wait and see when we get to that seventh wave move to the downside inside the NQ, because it's been super strong. And if we see that pattern fail, we're not there yet, that will send a fairly large message to you and I. Because the way that it ought to work, with the NASDAQ being so strong, with the NASDAQ ruling the world, well, that seventh wave ought to be a nice little bottom out there. And if it's not, well, hocus pocus, dominocus. I'll leave that to our man, my favorite polar bear, and that is David White. So, folks, thanks for tuning in on Magical Monday. We'll see you back on Terrific Tuesday. Have a great day.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.